Yes, sir. We are back with another episode of your favorite Flagrant 2, X and Lou. I be Lou,
Shit.
that BX. And oh man, wait, before we even get started, because I want to start this episode right before it goes left. Um it's NBA free agency. It's the start of the new league year today. Um
It's official.
Before we get into uh New York, I don't even want to touch New York right now. You know, but whether it be Brooklyn or whether it be Madison Square, I don't even want to touch New York right now. Let's give a round of I wish I had sound bites, man. Let's give a round of applause to my boy Devin Booker with
Oh,
the
I gotcha.
Max. Hey, let's
Gotcha.
let's give it up. My boy D Book. Let's give it up for Bradley Beal. Let's give it up for Jokic.
Yes.
Well deserved. Well deserved, guys. Y'all, yeah. I mean, I think
Get
I
that
don't think there's
paper.
anybody that got the max today that didn't truly deserve it.
Get that. Get that paper, man. They deserve it definitely.
That's a fact. So let's get into the nitty gritty because we just gotta address the elephant in the room straight on. What's up with Brooklyn? What is going on out on what is that Flatbush Avenue? What is going on over there, man?
Bro, we know what's going on over there. We got two highly emotional females out there.
Woo.
And it's just starting to rear its ugly head. You know what I mean? Kyrie out there going to get his money. Durant had enough of him. I don't know. They talk about we best friends, we still friends, we still cordial, and I would love to still play with him. But at the end of the day, you was at an organization that was giving you everything, catering to your every need.
Every
Both of
single
y'all
thing.
catering to both of their every needs.
Yep.
And now you're talking about you don't want to play with for that organization. Which one is it, Durant? Do you not want to play for that organization, or do
Or
you
you don't want to
truly
play
not want
with
to play with
Kyrie.
Kyrie?
But
Come
you know
on.
what? You know what it is though? I mean, Kyrie soured a lot of people. He soured that entire locker room. When you don't show up for your teammates, one that leaves a bad taste in the mouths of the front office, the coaches, but also your teammates. You're
Mhm.
alienating your teammates at that point. Everybody
Yeah.
else got the vaccine. If that's how you truly felt, and your teammates was truly gonna go the back with you, then what your teammates would have done was they wouldn't have got the vaccine either. And guess what? There wouldn't have been any
Yeah.
home games in Brooklyn. They would have had to figure something out. But that's not what happened. Everybody, the entire organization got the vaccine except Kyrie.
Mhm.
You hurt your team. You put your team in a position where there was no cohesion. You go into the playoffs, you get swept in the first round. It's
Swept.
simple as that. And then on top of that, you go into practices bullying James Harden. And you can't even go into the court to show what you did against James Harden.
First of all,
So
you bully James Harden, and then you bully your coaches by having a practice after that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
to me that's just wild. That's crazy. I think that's the
Okay.
craziest part of that whole Brooklyn fiasco. I mean,
Mhm.
when that hit, I'm like, all right, well, New York was probably New York was like one of the last states to get rid of the COVID
The
restrictions,
mandates. Yeah.
right? So I in my head I'm thinking, okay, well, it's probably going to be like 1 or 2 months. They're not going to let it go that long. If all the other states is letting it go, they're not going to let it go that long. Well, when did they lift the mandate? It was close to the end of the season by the time they
It
lifted
was
the
close to
mandate.
baseball season. We just gonna put
Yeah,
that out there. Uh,
yeah. And,
you
and
know.
when that happens, now Kyrie could play home games. Well, there's only like 10 home games left. What cohesion are you gonna have? Not to mention now you gotta play. Now you gotta go into a play-in because you don't even have the seeding correctly. Because had Kyrie, James, and KD been able to play all together, they may have been able to have a 4 seed, maybe a 5 seed. They may have been able to have a better seeding and made it
Mhm.
to the second or third round.
Yep.
You go into this. Wait, I think they had the 7 seed right after the play-in. They had the 7 seed.
Was
They
it? I
played
thought
the
it was a,
no. They played the Celtics. Didn't the Celtics have the 6th seed, the
that's
second
eighth.
seed?
Eighth. It was eighth. The Celtics was
The Celtics
first.
was the first seed. Oh well, that's even worse. That's even
Yeah, because they
worse.
came in eighth seed.
That's even worse. I was trying to give them some benefit of doubt, some credit. That's even worse. You have the A seed, you get swept by the 1 seed. Mind you, had you been at full strength, even with James Harden, you was the favorites. You was the favorites to win the finals.
You had the more star power.
It's crazy. Now, both players want to. I'm not mad at Kyrie for opting in. If I would have opted in too. What is that, 37, 38 mil? I'm opting in. I don't care if you trade me in. I'm getting my bread. Because you're going to go somewhere else and what, you're going to get, what, 20 mil? Maybe, if that? Because nobody's going to take that risk. Who's taking that risk?
The only teams he was going to play with was going to give him the mid-level, so he would have got the same thing as John Wall, like 6 mil.
And yeah, and you would have lost out on 30-something mil. So, well, I mean, in John Wall's case, I mean, he's still getting paid. He got the buyout, so he gave up 7 mil, and then he's gonna get another 6 mil. So it kind of works out for him.
Yeah. He basically just gave the money to the Houston that the Clippers was gonna get to him. So he loses no money that whole.
Yeah, he's not losing
that whole
money.
Transition. He just goes to a new team.
Yeah, I think what they said was he was losing like 1 million out of it. I mean, I'd rather lose 1 million than the 48 million that I was supposed to get.
Had a 48 mil that I was supposed to get and not play and not even have a chance to appear in the finals.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is the Clippers we're talking about. He's going to there's a chance to go to the finals. But this Brooklyn stuff anyway, though, is I just don't know. I think they putting out in the front of the masses and everything, this good front of KD and Kyrie being friends. We're friends no matter what.
We're brothers.
But I'm like, if y'all had such in-depth conversations with each other and making sure, like, y'all still talking about y'all want to play with each other, moving forward at some point, this, that, and the third. It's like, all right, Kyrie want to get his money, but like, if you really want to play and compete for a championship, Kyrie, you opt out. You take that little 6 mil and go somewhere and play for a championship, because at the end of the day, y'all been getting paid from the start of this. Kyrie was like a number 1 pick. He's been getting paid from the start.
And then on top of that, had he opted out and re-signed with the team and took a more team-friendly deal, now you give him Brooklyn more exactly what James Harden did. He opted out. And now he's giving the Philadelphia 76ers more cap flexibility. Now what they're going to do, they're going to sign PJ Tucker. They could go out and they could maneuver. Maybe they trade Thibault,
Tobias Harris.
Right.
And make something happen where they could put themselves in contention or win. But this is a lot of selfish stuff going on. And then it's like for them to talk from the beginning of the thing, talk about, us as a team, as players, and then them as a front office, we're going to work together, do this, that, and the third. And then you go ahead and alienate the whole front office and the whole upper management. And then when you want to make deals that they like, nah, this don't make no sense. Because at the end of the day, I understand y'all want to win, y'all want to do this, that, and the third, but we have to take a look at like some of the best organizations, even if some of their best players took pay cuts or did things for the team. Y'all ain't doing nothing for the team.
Yep.
It's got to be
the team sport. It got to. Had he opted out, it would have showed renewed faith, not only in the front office but also with your teammates, because you're opting out. It's not about me. It's not about me getting paid. I've already gotten paid. You have a sponsorship deal with Nike. You have sponsorship deals with other organizations. You're already getting money. That money that you're gonna get this year, you can make back in sponsorships. Literally, you drop a new sneaker, you can make that back.
Facts. Like, I understand, players getting their money, getting to that bag, and this, that, and the third. But like I say, people talk about they want to win championships, they want to do this, that, and the third, but they don't want to sacrifice for that. And you can see, like you said, with him opting in and taking all that money, it's like, all right, now we can't move how we want to move. The Nets wasn't going to give you a contract even close to what you was looking at.
Yep.
And plus, not guaranteed, because you want to sit here and play 35 games out the year. So it's like, we can't have faith in you.
And then on top of that, you kind of handcuff your team too. How can I move this contract? Now I got to try to facilitate a trade to get you. And now KD wants to get off this team. Now I have to facilitate a trade with 2 players. And there's not enough cap to go around. It's not like you know, a lot of these teams have. No, a lot of these teams wasn't expecting to have money until maybe next year, the year after. You know,
Exactly.
they wasn't expecting to have money this year because a lot of the free agents, the big names, wasn't going to be free agents until 2023.
Ain't no big names. I mean, shoot, look at one of the big names with the New York Knicks. That's a big name in free agency this year. Like, come on.
That's the biggest name. Let's talk about the Knicks, man. Let's talk about the Knicks. First of all,
Come on.
I'm not mad at what they did on draft night. I'm mad, but I'm not mad.
I'm mad about all of it.
I'm not mad because I see the value in what they were trying to do. Get a whole bunch of picks, offload contracts. I see the value in that. But where I don't see the value in it is, what are you going to do with all of this? Now that you have all of these assets, you have weapons to utilize to get your team the way that you want your team. You're not doing anything about it. DeJounte Murray was traded to the Atlanta Hawks. You was in conversation with them. You're going to tell me that out of the 11 picks that we have right now for the next 5 years, that we couldn't have gotten DeJounte Murray over the Atlanta Hawks? I would have much rather DeJounte Murray over Jalen Brunson. I'm sorry, I would.
That's 100% fact. I'm with you on that. I was just more so like, if they get DeJounte Murray, I'll stay on the boat. You know what I mean? But they get a Jalen Brunson. I'm like, man, listen, I don't know what y'all want to do. We're gonna get a 6-foot guard, sign him for almost $30 million. And what? I see if he was like Steph Curry or something. I see if he was bringing a phenomenal change to an organization, like where you could sit there and be like, all right, this guy is it.
This game changer.
But it's just like,
star.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, let's keep it 100. Guys like Randall is gonna look at him like, all right, cool, your hair, cool, but I'm still that guy.
Exactly. And so not to mention, you give him 27 mil. 27. In my opinion, it was overpaid. I'm not giving Jalen Brunson. I don't care what he did in the playoffs. I don't care how valuable he was to Dallas. Dallas wasn't even able to make an offer because we highballed them. Exactly. We highballed 27 mil. He is a 20. If you want to give him a number, is around 20 mil. Around 20 mil. And I'm not going over. I'm not going over 20. You know, do I like Jalen Brunson? Yeah, I think he brings toughness. I think he brings edge, but he's not a game changer. He's not moving the needle on if the Knicks are gonna win more games, or, you know, if anything, the Knicks didn't get better. They're still right where they are.
Yeah,
they're still middle in the pack. Nothing moved with this.
I don't know if I could say this on air. You know, people gonna get mad at me, but I think this was a whole family affair involved in this joint. Like, you can't tell me it wasn't. You know, a son being an agent, a father being head of operations. You know, the other father actually being an assistant coach, and then obviously the player is the son. Like, that's a whole family affair right there. They gotta be. I don't care what they gotta say. They're gonna be like, you know, some, I don't know, some, not tampering, but, you know, family cohesion type of nonsense. You know, that's exactly let's say yeah, it's tampering.
Let's call it a spade. It's tampering,
bro. That's exactly. And it's just like, at the end of the day, let's keep it 100. Like, yo, it's just about you having your son showing that he could get a guy like Jalen Brunson paid, so he could get his shine up and get him a little paper. But I'm like, yo, Mr. Rose, you do the Knicks. You got money. What is your son? What you need? Give your son some money on the side and go get DeJounte Murray or something. I would have been happier about that than anything than a Jalen Brunson, like, bro. And if Jalen Brunson go out there and show out for the whole year, I'll be like, oh my God, congrats. But I'm still gonna sit there and like the Knicks from afar because y'all been pissing me off.
Yeah, I think he was overpaid. I think he was extremely overpaid. Let's go down the list of who else got paid. So we do know Booker and Bill, they both got max deals. Booker's was 214. Bill's was 251. Jokic also got the max. Anthony Simons, I think highly of him. I think that he's a terrific player. Yeah, he got a 4-year extension, 400 mil.
Shit, congrats. Okay, I heard you.
Mavs signed JaVale McGee, 3-year, 20 mil.
The Mavs got him.
Yep. Lou Dort agrees to a 5-year deal to stay with the Thunder for 87.5 mil. Wolves are signing Kyle Anderson. I actually like that signing. I think Kyle Anderson is going to.
And my guy Slow Mo.
Yeah, he gave them he gives them grit, so I like that. Magic is re-signing Gary Harris. J- what's his face? JTA. Some Anderson. I forget his name.
Yeah, I know
On
you're talking
on the
about
Warriors.
on
Yeah,
the Warriors here.
yeah. He's signing with the Lakers.
For real?
Yep, he's signing with the Lakers. I don't have all the details in front of me, but he's going to
Wow.
the Lakers. Patty Mills is staying with the Nets for a 2-year, $14 million deal. Bobby,
What is
he
with
cashed
him?
in.
I know
He's
he left.
staying in Milwaukee.
Stan? Okay.
Yup, they gave him a 4-year, $49 million deal.
All right.
Oladipo's staying with the Heat on a 1-year deal for 11 mil. Rockets are signing Jason Tate for 3 years, 22 mil. Pistons,
I like him.
Pistons.
Hey,
I feel like they should be the Detroit Knicks. Pistons are signing Kevin Knox to a 2-year, $6 million deal.
What?
Yeah,
They just need the people on the sideline.
yeah, pretty much. They need some they need some warm butts in them on that bench. Marvin Bagley, my boy, 37 mil with the Pistons.
Yeah, my guy. He got his spot. I like him out there in the Pistons. He showed out this year. He showed that that Sacramento was just a haven of desperation and destruction to a rookie.
Yep.
The best rookie they would have had out there was Halliburton, and they got rid of him. He would have turned their whole franchise around. I mean, as far as culture goes, but hey,
Bagley too. Bagley gave you the grit. I'm saying as far as like he's somebody that was gonna give you the grit, to give you the toughness in the paint that you was missing since Cousins. So that's why I say he would have. Man, you having technical difficulties over here. X just froze. Man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. Technical difficulties over here. He'll be back. Oh, he just texted me. He said he got a storm booting up. Also taking questions. So if anybody got any questions, any hot takes, go ahead and put that in the comment section while we wait for the bro to come back. Next. Don't. I don't need no next questions, please and thank you. I want to talk about the Knicks. I feel like we used to play like the Jeopardy music, like do. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh man, should I like reboot the stream? I don't know. All right. We'll be back momentarily. All right, and we're back. Short little commercial break. Sorry about that, guys. My brother here, technical difficulties on his side. You good, bro? Are you having technical? Are you frozen again? Oh gosh. Uh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to restart this. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh,
All right.
all right.
You good? You good?
All right, it's storming out here and stuff. So
Oh, almost
yeah,
froze
that
again.
might happen. Nah. We good. We good. We good.
All right, we got the backup generators on, y'all. All right, back to this.
That's it, man.
Back to this little thing. Okay, so the Raptors are re-signing Chris Boucher to a 3-year, 35 million deal.
Okay.
76ers officially signed PJ Tucker to a 3-year, 33 mil deal.
You know how
Fully
MB
guaranteed.
said we ain't got guys like PJ Tucker. Now they got a guy like PJ Tucker, a dog.
Yeah, I think that right there makes the Nets dangerous.
The Nets, really?
I mean, I'm sorry, not the Nets, the
I'm fucking. I'm
76ers.
messing with the six.
But yeah, that makes them very dangerous. I like PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker gives you a toughness that
He's
I don't
been
think that they really had over there. Plus his
we
relationship with Harden.
exactly when you come to a model citizen of
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
somebody who just go out there, do the dirty work, shoot his threes, and he probably get mad if everybody ain't giving they all on defense. He makes you give your all on defense, and it's just a whirlwind and things like that. Especially with other guys, he got to get them situated. So it's like I understand he's getting older, but he still does his job to a T. He just needs to start hitting those corner threes because last season I kind of threw him off, but he needs to start making them this year.
Yeah, no, definitely. The 76ers, that was a big pickup for them, especially for the. I think it was more of a loss for the Heat because the Heat, he was excellent for the Heat, especially
Yeah.
for that culture that they have there. He fit in like a glove.
Mhm.
So, yeah, they're losing him is more on the Heat than it is for the Sixers. The Sixers are a better team with him. Nick
Yeah, but this is
Claxton,
what they needed. Sorry.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely. Now you're good. Nick Claxton returns to the Nets on a 2-year, 20 mil deal.
yeah.
Tyus Jones is getting a 30 mil extension for a 2-year deal with Memphis. Mo Bamba is staying with the Magic,
I
2 years,
seen that.
21 mil. Clippers re-signed Nicholas Batum, 2 years, 22 mil. Excuse me. Wes Matthews and Javon Carter both are staying with the Bucks.
Bucks, okay.
Uh, Deadman is getting 9 mil on a 2-year deal with the Heat. The Kings are signing Malik Monk to a 2-year, 20 mil deal. I think that's good for Malik.
Shit.
Bucks are signing Joe Ingles. That's huge. So he
Yeah, I
signs
seen that.
he signs for a 1-year deal to go to the Bucks. I think that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Especially for what Joe Ingles brings. He brings stiffness on defense and he can shoot. He can shoot that bull. So I think that it's a piece that Giannis could use
He
around
can
him.
shoot that, and then also as well, he's an added playmaker because that's what
Yeah.
was his really one of his roles out in Utah was playmaking. And then let's get it, he was playing defense for a guy of his caliber. He is actually a good positional defender that
Yes.
help with defense as well. He's smart, so he's an IQ guy as well. So
Yep.
it's like that's a fantastic pickup for them. As long as he can still move laterally with that injury that he sustained, hopefully.
Yeah,
And I
hopefully.
think
Yeah.
he'll be fantastic for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thaddeus Young signs a 2-year deal to stay with Toronto.
Okay.
Knicks sign Hartenson to a 2-year, 16
Oh,
million
I
deal.
understand that.
I think that was just for a depth piece. Also, it's also
Yeah.
for a piece if they're not able to retain um
Mitch.
what's his face? Yeah, Mitch Robinson. The Nuggets are signing DeAndre Jordan. I don't know why, but okay.
Whatever. He
Okay.
just need to be out the league at this point. But
Yeah, for real. I mean, what are you doing out there? Like you're bench fodder. You're not.
uh,
It is what it is. You know who I thought, and I think this would have been a good piece, but I think that if JaVale McGee went to Denver, I think that would have been
yeah, I think
good for
so. Because
them.
if he would have went back, that'd have been great for them. Despite of
Yeah.
everything, you know what I mean. His whole Shaq in the 4 era where he was early
Hmm.
in Denver. Was he? He was in Denver at a point. I know he was with the
Yeah, he
Wizards.
was in
He
Denver.
played in
I think
Denver.
he
Yeah,
was there for like a year or two. He was in Denver.
yeah. That would have been a great coming back because he's actually solid and he's
Yeah.
been playing well for
And
every
and
team.
where's your depth behind Jokic? You know?
That's
So
the whole
I think
fact.
yeah, so I think him going to Denver that would have been good, but ultimately he ends up he ends up in Dallas. But I think it works out for Dallas too cuz Dallas lost they lost the big guy, the giant in the trade that they made.
Oh, what's his? Wait, you said he went to Dallas?
Yeah,
Oh
JaVale
yeah,
went to
yeah,
Dallas.
yeah. He loved. Oh, Dallas. What did I just? Why did I
Yeah.
think he just think? Oh, you said Denver again. Yeah, Dallas. Yeah, that's
Yep.
fantastic for him. That's Lob City for him.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, they lost Boban.
Boban, yeah, Boban. They lost Boban, yeah. So I think
He was a character development over there. He was just a character guy. So it's
I
fine.
mean, but still, he comes in and gives you solid 5 minutes. I mean, of rim
Every 10
protecting.
games.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I mean,
You ain't need
it is
him. But I
it's
think
something.
JaVale is good. Even though they have two they're not too they're too good. I think they're good for people.
Yeah,
And Kleba, Maxi Kleba, and the other guy. I know one.
I forgot about
What?
Kleber. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think yeah,
Kleba.
Kleber's
He can
solid.
actually stretch the floor. So I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be what's the other guy's name? He's the one who's more inside. So I
who?
think they'll alternate minutes with JaVale and the other guy. I forgot his name. I don't know why it's passing me by, but I know Kleba could shoot. So it's like it'll give him a big lineup as well too,
Yeah,
especially that can move because you got JaVale McGee and Kleba out there who give you great minutes as the 4 man who could give you 5 man minutes, but we know neither one of them is actually a real five who dominates. So with that JaVale there, it'll be a good look with him.
yeah, I agree. Amir Coffey returns to the Clippers for a 3-year, $11 million deal. 76ers signed Daniel House to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Lakers land Lonnie Walker to a 1-year, $6 million deal.
You said the
Uh,
Lakers?
yeah, the Lakers landed Lonnie Walker. I think
Okay.
that's a good pickup for them as well.
Shit,
Lakers
they ain't do
also
nothing.
signed Troy Brown Jr. To the minimum. He signs to the vet minimum. Lakers signed Damian Jones to a 2-year deal. Let's also see the Lizards. The Lizards, the Wizards, the Wizards.
Lakers and Wizards together.
Yeah, I
Oh
know. Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I know. The Wizards signed a 2-year deal. I'm sorry, Anthony Gill signs a 2-year deal with the Wizards. Um, Nuggets re-sign Devon Reed. 76ers are gonna sign Trevelyan Queen. I don't know who he is, but he's a guard.
Nada. No. A hole in the
I don't.
wall. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I have no idea who he is, but yeah, so far that's who we have. So who we still have out there, we still have Mitch. Mitch still hasn't gotten his contract, but I'm pretty sure that the Knicks are gonna lock that up. I mean, the Knicks
Mhm.
would be foolish to let Mitch go.
I
Staying
know.
on the Knicks. I think that I just want to say my moves that I think that needs to happen. Not for them to be contenders, but for them to go into the right direction. Especially now that you signed Jalen Brunson. What you want to do is you got to get rid of Randall. I think that's the first order of business. You have to find a trade partner and send Randall out. Randall has
Mhm.
to go because Randall is going to continue to bring that locker room in a different way because of the fact that Randall thinks that he's a bona fide star and he commands that. But the thing is, you can't command it and you can't say that you're this if you're not. You have to go out there and show and prove. It's like if LeBron was a bum
Calling
and he's
himself the
just
king.
calling himself the king. You can't do that. Julius Randle, you're not a star. I think that you're a terrific role player, but you're not the one. You're not even the two. At best, you're the three. You're the third option. And if you go to a team with that mindset, being the third option, some nights you can be the second option, but you're not the first
Mhm.
option. And I like how the Knicks went away from him being the first option throughout, as the season progressed, and they let RJ be the first option. Because I feel like RJ on that team is the first option, and he should be. He's continuously progressed and he's continuously getting better, but he's still young. He's not even touching his prime. He's nowhere there. He's 22, 23. Like he's a kid. Um,
Yeah.
so what you want to do is you want to build around that. You want to build around your centerpieces, your core. And since you signed Brunson becomes a part of that core. Next to that core will be RJ Barrett. Now you have your other core members, and it has to be stated, Mitch has to be a part of that core. Mitch brings to that team something that they all gel. He's Lob City. He top 5 in blocks throughout when he's on the court, when he's on the floor. Their defensive rating skyrockets when he's on the floor. He has to be a
Mhm.
part of that core. Another person that I think that needs to be a part of that core and that needs playing time over Evan Fournier, because I think that Evan Fournier should transition to the bench. Cam Reddish. I think if you give Cam, hear me out. You give Cam
I'm listening.
the starting playing time, right? And you have him with RJ, right? I think that RJ is gonna bring out a lot because I think that there's a lot of ceiling left. He hasn't touched the ceiling yet. There's a lot of room between where he's at right now and where that ceiling is. And I don't think that there's been coaches that have been able to bring out what he can bring. I think the only coach that's really brought out what he actually can do on the court is Coach K when he was in Duke. He hasn't had that in Atlanta. It's been very erratic. It's been very non-consistent. You need somebody that's gonna tell you like, yo, bro, right now I just need you to defend. Don't worry about nothing else. Defend. I think Tibbs can do that, but I don't know. I honestly don't think Tibbs is the right coach for this team right now. This is a young team and they need to go in that direction. And I don't think Tibbs is that coach.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was talking to Kev the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, they should have been got rid of Tibbs." It's something to say, but it's like, yo, he wants his vets. He want to do that. If you want to go in with a title, and I feel it, but like, go ahead, go somewhere else. You want to win a title right now. If you want to build, you want to. You gotta take that on and be like, you know what? Let me lead these young boys and get them right. And what we think about, it's like Brunson. I can hear what you say, but Brunson, I don't know about if he's so much of a floor general or somebody who's gonna get everybody in a spot. So if he could go ahead and do that, then I could see Cam Reddish coming out, because Cam Reddish got to be a guy that they got to start running him around some curls, some screens, get him going like that. And I don't think, honestly, it's keeping 100. I don't think he's even in his mindset situated to that. So he's got to realize who he is as a player and what his body type and frame is and what it's saying for him to do compared to what his mind is saying. Yo, all right, let me get the ball. You can't really ISO like that. You don't have that first footstep like that. And it's just like,
and you don't have the strength. You don't have the strength that RJ has.
Exactly. You gotta go ahead and get off them screens and get a little advantage on somebody and then take advantage of that.
You know what he should model his game around? He should model his game around Wesley Matthews.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say Brandon Ingram. He should look at him more. So
I wouldn't even look at Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram is very, very close to KD.
Yeah, I understand
as far as length, as far as scoring, but I wouldn't. I think that if Cam becomes a more Wesley Matthews, where you're just out there to spot up, shoot threes, and defend, because Cam could defend. He can defend. He's a good defender. The thing is, he's not always willing. When you have that ability,
this is why I say he should model his game more so around
Ingram.
Ingram, simply because like Ingram, he gets a lot of his shots off of, horns actions. He coming off around screens. And the thing about it is, like, let's keep it funky. Certain people's mindsets, certain people's brains is, once I start scoring, once I start getting some shots, once I get in the flow of the game,
right,
then I'll start doing the rest of the stuff. We can look at Cam and see he'll do the rest of the stuff, but you got to get him involved. You got to pander to him a bit. And that's the reason why I say that.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm very high on Brandon Ingram. As a matter of fact, before he signed the extension, I was hoping that he became a free agent and that the Knicks threw the bucket at him, because I think I'm very high on Ingram. I just think that he needed more time to grow than others. Yeah. I think they put a lot of labels on him. The next KD, he's the next star. Then he went to a storied franchise, and they was still in a flux after the Kobe era. So I think that Brandon Ingram is in New Orleans, because I still think New Orleans is going to contend this year. I think that they they have enough to contend. Especially you get in Zion back. They're already tasted the playoffs together. They're going to come into next season and they're going to have renewed vigoration and optimism all going forward. But I think Ingram is that driving force. It's not going to be Zion. Zion becomes the 2 at that point. He's not. You don't want to put your focal point on Zion. One, because Zion hasn't played much. Yeah. You still got to get the chemistry right between all of them when he's reinserted into the lineup. But also, Ingram is a walking bucket.
Nobody can stop him.
He's a bucket. And once he starts going, and the craziest thing is, he could shoot the 3, but he'd rather kill you from mid-range. He is a mid-range sniper. Yeah. And that's what I love about Ingram. He doesn't settle for the shot. He knows where to go on the floor, and he rises up and he gets that bucket. And he's very efficient with it. Very efficient. So I think that going forward with that mentality that they have, I think the Pelicans are probably, you know, they're in the same position as Memphis. They're a rising young team. And how old is Ingram? 26, 27? He's
Yeah,
not that
he's still
old.
young.
Yeah, he's still young. So, I mean, I think that if you put Cam into that situation where, because Cam has that body type, he may not be as tall, but he's lengthy. He's very lengthy,
Yeah,
and he can do it. But it's
yeah, because he
it's
has a
what you
body
do in your
type.
off season.
Yeah, he has a body type more of a Paul George, but I just don't think he has that Paul George game in
He has
him
more of an
yet.
Ingram game. I get you. I
Yeah,
get you.
so it's like,
Yeah.
and if Paul George could come around screens, he could do all that type of stuff
Mhm.
too. So it's
Mhm.
like, come on, bro, you got to just figure out who you are. Somebody got to sit there and tell you, like, yo, this is who you are. Let's get you in the best spots possible.
Yeah.
And say, yo, we're gonna run some game, we're gonna run some stuff around you, bro, so we could get his confidence up.
Yeah, we
You
could
know
get
what I
you going.
mean?
But Tibbs is not going to
Because
be that guy. Tibbs
yeah,
is not that guy. I love Tibbs. I thought that if Tibbs came to the Knicks when Melo was still here, I think we would have won a championship.
yeah,
You know, with Jason Kidd, with Jr.
Mhm.
With Jr. Smith, with Randy Felton. With I think that we would have won a championship had we had him then. When they fired Mike Woodson, they should have
Yeah.
picked up Tibbs. They didn't. They opted to go for the triangle, whatever the hell they wanted to do. But I mean, that's the Knicks, man. That's their dysfunction, and I think that as long as Tibbs is gonna be there, they're gonna run the vets, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Mhm.
I like the fact that we traded Alec Burks
Yeah.
because you're getting one of the vets that you ran into the ground
Kimba
off the floor. Like, yeah, Kemba. I first of all, I didn't like the Kemba signing to begin with.
at all.
I didn't like the Kemba signing.
And it
I thought
shows.
that I think that Kemba in his heyday was great, but you're asking him to start? No. I want him coming off the bench. I want him backing up. If he would have came off the bench with Derrick Rose, I think that would have been a terrific tandem. But
Mhm.
now you're gonna have to ask Emmanuel quickly to grow up and
Real
run
quick.
and run the floor.
Quickly.
But that's pun intended. But that's what you have to do. You have to go into the youth. You have a whole bunch of young guys that just want to go out and bowl and win games,
Mhm.
and you're not playing them.
Yeah, but you gotta let them learn by experience. But you also gotta teach these young boys, man. Tibbs just want to teach them play defense, bro. Like, come on, we gotta teach them how to. It's a new
Yeah.
day and age, bro. You gotta get these. You gotta find out what's up with these kids' heads and get. You know what I mean? Get into that mode and be like, all right, cool. We gotta get out of the old ways and do some new things out there.
Yeah, I think that as long as Tibbs is going to be there, it's going to hurt the young guys. It's going to hurt them. Taj Gibson should have never been re-signed. I love Taj. I love Taj, but you're not. Why are you starting him in different spots? And then why are you giving him so many minutes off the bench? Taj should be Udonis Haslam.
That's it, bro. He
He
should be
should
talking
be
to
Udonis
Obi. He should be
Haslam.
talking to RJ Barrett, like, yo, you should be in these spots. Yo, you
Yup.
do this down the third. You know what I mean? He got to be an Iguodala. He got to be like, yo, let me just. All right, cool. I'll
Yelling
put
at
you
the
in a
young
game.
guys. What are
I'll
you
put
doing?
you in a
You're better
game
than
real
this.
quick. Oh shit, you too old for this, Iggy. So sit down and talk to these young boys and get them right.
Yeah,
That's what he
man.
needed to do with Gibbs. Like
Come
that's
on,
what it should have
man.
been.
He should have been a Udonis Haslam. He should have been yelling at Jimmy Butler. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think that when you look at their roster, the way it's constructed, you have a whole squad of young boys that you may not win games. You may not win. You may not win. You may not. But not only are they getting the experience, they're learning because in order to win, they got to learn to win. It's not like, you come into the league and then you automatically are going to win games based off your talent. No, because strategies and good coaching could trump your talent. Doesn't matter how much talent you have in the world. Look at LeBron James. How many finals he been to? If it was based solely on talent, LeBron should have more rings. Based solely on talent, LeBron should have more rings. He doesn't. Why? Because there's coaching, there's strategies, there's other guys learning, and when you go up against a juggernaut, you have a whole bunch of Davids that want to take out that juggernaut, and that's the young guys, and it has to be the young guys. They gotta learn. It's not gonna happen with Tibbs there. It's not. And I love Tibbs. Love him.
I
It's not
can't
gonna.
stand him.
No, I mean I love him. I love him. I think if he was like a defensive coordinator, if he was the coach on a bench, just doing what Mike Brown was doing in Golden State, yeah, I think terrific, great.
Yeah.
The Knicks would be great. But give me a coach that's willing to push these young guys and teach them. You know who I'm high on right now? Allen Houston. You have a guy that's been in the G League coaching for a while, and he coaches up these G League. And you see the Knicks, Westchester Knicks, they be going off. But then they come over here and it's a different story.
Yeah.
Give me Allen Houston. Bring him up. I want to see what he does as a head coach. I like him.
You gotta get look. We see what's going on, man. A lot of these player coaches is the ones that's really getting to the players better than these older coaches who just coach the game. So it's like as long as we get a player coach in there, man, I think they'll be all right.
I mean, even Pop was a player at one point, wasn't he? Wasn't he a player?
I don't know, but still, he's still kind of old anyway. I think so. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but
I mean,
I'm not 100% sure. But
how much can we?
When you think about it, you got a guy like Phil Jackson. They even played.
Yeah, but how much? Yeah, that's another question. I'm glad you brought up Pop. Let's talk about the Spurs. How much of this rebuild is Pop going to be around for? Pop is what? It's 73,
Well,
72.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was just talking with my coworker about that. Pop just needs to go on his like 2-3 year hiatus to retire and think about coming back. Because I'm like, I ain't gonna let my record get destroyed. Especially with this debacle that's about to go on. This is about to be a whole change, a whole scenery change with this whole trade of DeJounte Murray. They're going ahead, they're getting their picks and they're gonna move through the draft. And we see
they want Victor Wembanyama,
Victor whatever his name is. They want him, and it's just like at the end of the day, it's like this is really how you do it, because at the end of the day, you gotta go ahead through this draft to change things up. Like this whole trying to do things on the fly, being the 8th, you know what I mean? Getting the 8th pick or the 8th through 12th pick isn't gonna cut it. You gotta take your chances. You gotta die out there. You gotta tank and go ahead and take your chances to get that top 3 pick.
Yep.
And it's just like now this is what you do. You get some of these guys to see what you got that's left. You got rid of DeJounte Murray because I said his name right. You got rid of him because you don't want to pay him. And it's like now, hey, look, this is the perfect time. You had to get rid of him. You got rid of him at the great time to get the most assets out of him. Now you utilize those assets that you got from him to try to pick a new guy to lead your team moving forward. So it's like it's actually good. This is the perfect time for them to actually do it.
I think you're totally correct. I think either Pop should go to another team, like what did
team just step down and go elsewhere in the organization where you're
until they're ready.
I think I keep it 100 with you. I was like, he needs to do a Pat Riley and just be like, you know what? I'm gonna go to one of the other. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the front office. I'm gonna do something out there, and if it's really needed, and I see that we're moving in advance, and I'm still at that era in my mindset where I could go out there and coach these guys, then I'll go ahead and do it, and we can make a run. But right now, I'm like, man, listen to me. I'm not letting my record get destroyed because it's time for tankathon. You feel me?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think Pop is such a great coach, a great basketball mind that it's wasted. Now, I don't want to say it's wasted on the young guys, but it's wasted on tanking. It's wasted on purposely losing to get into the lottery.
Well, literally, it sounds bad, but you could have your next person, your next of kin, as far as coaching, sit in that coach's seat right now. And it's, hey, look, he gonna take the blunt, the blunt of these losses. But
I mean, but they already do. They already do. They got Becky Harmon. They got they got what's his face
that's what I'm saying.
Franchise cornerstone who's on the bench too. I mean, come on,
allow them to go out there and just coach their way and start getting their system in order.
Yep.
and let Pop just chill in the background and help out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that if they go that route, yeah, Pop got to step down, man. I don't want him to mess up his legacy because they decide to
I
to
mean,
to tank
it's not gonna be a mess up
this far in
legacy
his
at the end of the
career.
day because nowadays we have more so information
Yeah,
and a lot of the stats and stuff show everything. So it'll be like, oh well, these were the bad years. I think wasn't so. This is what his record is. But it's like, during his era of really coaching, it was always above 500. It was in playoffs. We know who Pop is, but it's just like at the end of the day, we don't want that to look at. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's a little thing, like a little selfish thing, but it's just like, yeah, at the end of the day, you're already at the end of your career as far as coaching. We thought you was done once Duncan was out.
Yeah, once Duncan left here.
We're glad, like as an organization, the Spurs, to have you and for you to sit around and actually help our young guys realize what the culture is and keep that going. But we could have you do that culture stuff from the background and start moving forward.
I mean, but he's already instilled the culture because you look at the coaches he has around him, they're all people that
Mhm.
he's developing them too. I mean, Becky Harmon,
Yep.
I mean, for as much as she's worth, I mean, she's a baby Pop. I mean, just her mindset, the way that she approaches coaching, the way that she goes out about her business. I mean, she's a perfect prime candidate, and she could be the first female coach. And Pop was, uh, you know, building her to that. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to give the reins over to Becky and letting her take over this team. And yeah, let Pop come into the front office. He's still a brilliant mind. And he's still somebody that you could pick his brain. Becky could literally go to the front office like, yo, we got this matchup coming with the Lakers. What's your ideas? What should I game plan for?
And even if Pop don't want to be in the front office, the thing about it is Pop so loving of this game that he'll be somebody like, you could just call me anytime,
Right?
talk his ear
Yeah.
off real quick.
Yup.
Give me a 30 minutes to an hour, Pop. I got you.
Pop is somebody that would show up at a game just to sit on the sidelines and talk shit. You know what I'm saying? And get players going. I mean, you see it when he's talking to other players on the opposite team. He's talking like, yo, you gotta go like this, and yo, like he be coaching up other players, like, and that's the craziest thing. That's why I love Pop so much. I think Pop is probably one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game of basketball. And when you look at it from that perspective, the culture, the legacy that he's already created, I think it's time for him to step down. He's getting older. You can't do this forever. There's an expiration date on everything. There's an expiration date on how long you play in the league. There's an expiration date on how long you coach in the league. And he's close to it. Why not go out on like, why not make this your last season? Why not have a farewell tour? You know what I'm saying? And because there's never been a coach. Well, I can't say there's never. I mean, Phil Jackson had his farewell tour, but I think Pop deserves it. Pop deserves a farewell tour, and I think that this season should be it. And he should hand over the keys to Becky.
Oh no, I don't even think he do it like that. I think he just literally does it in the off season or some not farewell tour because Pop ain't gonna make everything about him.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it about him.
Yeah, he would be somebody who would be like, he wouldn't even say it because he don't want it to be, the pressure on these other guys. He just want them to play their game.
Because they're gonna go out there and they're gonna try to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But let's talk about the Hawks. I think that getting DeJounte Murray, I don't even think it's huge for the Hawks as an organization. It's huge for Trae Young. This trade was for Trae Young. Now you can do so much more because you have another ball handler on the floor who can defend, who can also get he could get guys in spots that Trae Young can't. He can do a lot of the things that Trae Young can't. And then on top of that, you give Trae the opportunity to be Steph. Now you can have him do a lot of off-ball stuff. There's going to be a lot of off-ball actions.
Yeah.
I think that this trade I'm thinking Steph in mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's still, I think for this thing, it's still going to be some growing pains because it's like you got to think about it for the last few years in the league. Trae has been an on-ball, and these two are top 3 in, possession in the
usage.
league. So it's Yeah, they're top three in possessions. I think Trey is number one, and then DeJounte Murray is number three.
Yeah, I think
And
Luca's number 2.
yeah, and then you got to think it's going to be some growing pains because Trey has not been really off the ball since high school, type of thing. He went, in his high school, he showed out as the point guard. Going into what was it, Oklahoma or something? I know it
Yeah,
was somewhere with
Oklahoma.
an O.
Yeah, it was Oklahoma.
Yeah, all right. Going to Oklahoma, he showed up and showed out as the best point guard out there. Comes to the Hawks, shows out as one of the best point guards out there. So this is going to be a different. It might be a little growing pains as far as him getting off ball, and we'll see how that goes. Because the thing about it is when he's on ball, it's like, damn, it's fantastic. Like he's crazy good. And then it's just like now, if he's on board, DeJounte Murray's been shooting like 30% from three. You know what I mean? It's about if he's gonna step up his
percentage.
shooting his shooting in the offseason to be off ball capable, or they're gonna just adjust the roster around because we know the Hawks are not done moving because that relationship with Trey Young and John Collins is completely fried. So
and I think you got to get rid of Capella as well. I think a big thing for them to do. I think that they should go all out and get
Miles
Ayton.
Turner.
No, I say Ayton. You go out and get go out and get DeAndre Ayton, and Ayton is a better center than Capella.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't like the inside centers for them, especially with a guy like DeJounte Murray, who's somebody who could attack the rim something crazy. In my mind, I'm thinking like a Miles Turner would be way
no, Miles Turner would be way more valuable.
I think the Pacers are locked in with Miles Turner, but I'm thinking that's one of the guys that I would really the mold I would look into. But DeAndre, like Ayton, you just need to stay in Phoenix. I don't nobody want you, bro. Let's keep it 100. I'm sorry.
But nobody want Capella. And what are you going to do with John Collins? I mean, that
about it. You know, be crazy. Centers, you have to be fantastic.
Give me
being inside. Pause.
Give me John Collins for what's his face and Tobias Harris. Give me Tobias Harris for John Collins.
What? Why would they even? What?
I mean, it works for the Hawks.
Oh, for Collins, I don't know why my head's upside down. But
it works for the Hawks. It doesn't work for the Sixers. It works for the Hawks.
But the thing about it, Tobias Harris keep talking this nonsense where he want to touch the ball more, and like, bro, you're not built like that.
Nah,
so
he's not.
Like,
he's
gonna
not.
go.
But
he's gonna go from one situation where you got
he's not getting the ball to another situation,
and a big man who has high usage to another place like that. Like, and they're gonna tell you, yo, just defend and shoot a shot. What we need you to. It's like, I don't know. Some of these, like I said, some of these guys, I don't know where their head just got big out of nowhere, bro. But what they say, you are not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You are not that guy.
You're not.
And that's
that
what they need
guy.
They need to realize that, bro. You make 37 million. You're not that guy.
That's a fact. That's
like
a fact.
Collins, you want to be Max. You're not that guy.
Nah, I agree. I'm
sorry.
I think that a lot of these moves, the East is gonna get shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. I just want to see what the Hawks is gonna do because right now they went for a huge move with getting DeJounte Murray. Yeah, and I'm like, that's kind of a move you make when you're closing your team off to be like, yo, we're gonna win this year.
I think that they were just trying to close the gap. There's a huge gap between them and the top 4 teams in the East, and I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to close the gap and become one of the top 4 teams.
Yeah, but now that you give away some of those picks, you gave away like 3 picks and then the pick swap.
Yeah, and then but
now
you look at it from an aspect
of something else, you gotta
you have to
give up now. Yeah. What are you gonna give up now? Like now the team actually wants some more picks too.
True, but I think that this was more of a move where even if you keep Collins, and you have him come off the bench, giving up Gallinari for DeJounte Murray, because I don't think Gallinari was really moving the needle for them. But I think
I don't think he's expiring contract anyway.
So I think that when you look at it from that perspective, I think that the Hawks do put themselves in a better position because you look at free agency, it's probably not going to be this year. It's going to be next year. You have a lot of guys hitting free agency next year. And, Atlanta's going to be a nice destination to go to. You have 2 guards. and let's see what they do. Can they thrive with each other? Can one sacrifice being on ball? And I mean Trey, can he sacrifice being on ball to be off ball a little bit more? Because he could still be on ball, but there's gonna have to be spots.
We gotta see how those contracts work out because you just signed John Collins to like a 4-year deal. You're gonna have DeJounte. Yeah, you're gonna have DeJounte Murray, who's coming up on his contract, where you're gonna have to extend him. So it's like you gotta see how the money work out. You know me, I'm not really 100% how that contract stuff is working right now with all this stuff just going on. But it's like you gotta worry about those two as well. Like now you move Collins. I don't even know how much he's getting paid. I'm sure like close to like 22 or something a year or something like that. And it's just like you gotta fill that up, and you gotta make some moves, bro. They got to make something happen right now. I don't give a damn what you say. They got to make it happen right now with Collins.
Well, from what I'm seeing everywhere, the Wizards are the ones that are talking about trading for John Collins. They want him. And he's still young. He's 24 years old. I think I'm trying to see his contract numbers right now, but I mean he's still young. He can give you, he could give you a solid 10 and 10. And I think him going to I think the Wizards would be a great landing spot for him, to be honest with you. But what are the Wizards going to give up to get him? That's where the questions really come down to,
Exactly.
So I am seeing on the contract he signed the 5-year extension for $125 million. So, that's close to like, 20 a year. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky, but we got to just see how everything plays out. I mean, today is just day one of free agency. Pretty sure he's probably the prime candidate to get moved. Once he gets moved, then I think everything else is probably gonna start shaping up.
Yeah, then we got to see what the Wizards do, man. Because at the end of the day, we know Bradley Beal just signed his contract. He wanted to get a super max. We all know that, but like, how long? Let's keep it funky. How long is Bradley Beal gonna be in the Wizards uniform? I know he got to stay at least this year because he just signed a contract.
I say 2
next year. That's what I'm saying. I'll say like 2 years. I'll give him 2 years, but it's just like.
If they don't think about this, if the Wizards don't do nothing to put everything together within the next 2 years, he's gone. He's gone. I'm requesting a trade. Get me out of here.
But it's just like at the end of the day, like, what can we do about that? Let's think about it. You're going to sign your contract within like 2 years. You'll be like, well, I'm out of here. And now you already got paid. Yeah. You're getting paid. You're guaranteed on this contract. Like, now it makes sense to only stay in your hometown because you got super max money. But once you get super max money, the way player empowerment is, it's like, I'll just leave.
Yeah.
And I feel it because it's like it's both ends, because it's like your team has to show you that you're trying. And if they trying but just doesn't work, it's just like, all right, cool. I understand you leaving with your super max and still being able to get that paid. But some people might sign that thing with the mindset like, yo, we ain't really doing nothing, but I want to get paid. It just keep their money that go on next with. Like, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is like super max thing. They got to reevaluate that stuff, man.
I mean, the CBA is coming up soon, so I think that that's something that definitely they should talk about. Another thing that I want to see shape out, where's Zach LaVine gonna land? Is he gonna stay in Chicago or is he gonna go? Like, that's what I really want to figure out. Because
go ahead, I'm listening.
I was thinking about Zach LaVine, and I'm like, the Knicks really don't got a 2. They don't. I would like to see Zach LaVine with RJ and Obi. Hey, let's do a sign and trade. Let's get Zach LaVine and ship out Randall to the Bulls. Let's do that.
Why would they do that?
I mean, why would they do that? I mean, who really wants?
Like, it sounds good as a Knicks fan, but
no, it does.
Chicago.
It does.
This why is Chicago. Like, why would we do that now?
Why would we want Randall?
We have Patrick Williams at our 4. We have Vucevic at our 5.
Yeah, that's a fact.
How much more big men do we need?
We could do a 3-way sign and trade. We figure it out. We gotta ship this boy out, man. If we can get Zach LaVine on the sign and trade, I'll take it. We got to ship out
Uh,
Randall some way, somehow. Make the numbers work.
I still think it's too many. Oh no, the Knicks just needed. I'm still mad at the Knicks, man. We just needed to move forward with the youth.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree.
And
Oh man, I agree. I agree.
damn. So
Well,
man, we got to see Gary Payton got to sign with the Warriors back, man. That's
oh
what
nah,
he
he
is.
got to resign. He got to resign. He got to resign.
One of our guys.
They got to keep him. They got to keep him. But look, that's our episode. We will catch you guys next week. Hopefully by next week, more moves will be made. Give us something more to talk about. I want some spice, man. Brooklyn, make this interesting. Make next week interesting.
Make it happen, man. Like, I gotta see where KD going, man. Sign and trade with Phoenix, man. They about to get Ayton.
Yeah, man. Give me, yeah, man. Give me something to talk about, man.
Imagine KD in Phoenix, man. But you already know the vibes, man. Like, share, sub, or all the above. Your favorite podcast signing out.